Welcome, everybody. We're going to get started soon. I guess I need to get this set up. How's everybody doing today?
Good morning.
Okay, here we are.
Morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Letting everybody file in here. Hello, Cow Hunter. Nice dog. Tubs. Dig Dug. Nice dog. Got some new visitors here today, I see. Tomic, welcome. Mal, what are you doing in the audience, Mal? Trying to hide?
Hey.
Morning, Mal. Or evening, whatever time it is.
Yes, afternoon. How is everyone?
Good.
Good morning.
Q.
Yes.
Got Tom, you keep rejecting my invitation to come to the stage. You're welcome if you want. You don't have to come up, but you're welcome. Let's see. We have Volcron. We're waiting for one more person, aren't we? Okay, let me find that. There we are. The Meta, you got an invite to speak. There you go. Okay. Who else we have in the audience today? Chris Tuna, welcome. King Kwa, Fandroid, Blue Wolf, welcome everybody. Ed777, Hefe Sailor. You guys were waiting even here before I got here. Rostakip, welcome. We'll just give it another minute as we let a few more people file in. Oh, I see we got a new name, Musashi. That's cool. I think we got some exciting stuff, or a couple of exciting things to share today, plus some intros to do. Eric Hammer, welcome. No, Michelle, should we start off? We're like 1 minute into it.
Yeah, we started. So there's only like 50 people.
Go ahead and why don't you give us an intro, and then maybe should we start with our guest? I can't remember the order that we were going to do this in, so maybe you can help out.
Yeah, let's do it. Might as well introduce everybody first.
Okay.
All right, so we've got, let's see, who wants to go first? Anybody? Top Boy Q? Would you like to introduce yourself?
All right. Well, good afternoon, peeps, and thanks, Michelle. I am one of the new product managers on Townstar. Been on the squad for just under 2 months. My primary focus is to help build out the game or the live games roadmap for features, prioritizing bugs, and planning for the most fun metas. Obviously, under the guidance of Mal, and just really trying to make sense of which objects should go on chain. It's the 2 months that I've been here. It's been a blast. Surprisingly, this is actually my first AMA with a company, and I've been here for about 7 months. Was on the Node Squad first, was on the platform team for a little while, but it feels pretty good and surreal to be on the other side. I actually started out in the community as well, listening into some of these AMAs, and here I am. Feels good.
Thanks, Tom.
Michelle.
Yeah, it's awesome to have you.
Thank you. Here.
Who wants to go next? We got Resource. You want to go?
All right. Hi, everybody, and happy Friday. I'm Resource. I'm a live producer and release manager for Townstar. and I'm pretty new. I think this is my fourth release that we're going to be doing here on Monday. So yeah, happy to be with y'all.
Thanks,
Welcome.
Rusaurus.
Yeah.
Whereas you
One thing I want to
go ahead.
I was just going to say one thing I want to share. Some folks in the community have been noticing sort of a different pace of feature releases, some new and interesting things, some unexpected changes happening, and we've got. You can see why when we've got a couple new people added to the team. Top OQ and Resource are some of the key drivers to those changes. So we just wanted to make sure everybody knew some of the folks behind the scenes.
Sorry, so you definitely need a new Discord avatar, though.
Yeah, what is that? The generic Discord picture?
Yeah,
We'll get you hooked up with something.
It is. I need something cool. It's pretty lame, guys. No lie.
Time to up our game. Who's next?
Wholeheartedly.
Who's next, guys?
Is it me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Hi, everyone. So I've just recently joined the company. I'm working on a new version of the game as lead game designer. So trying to distill SageMaker's designs and desires for the game, so that the engineering team can make it a reality.
Can you share a little bit of your history so that people know where you come from?
Sure. I've mostly worked on mobile free-to-play live ops games for the past 8 years, very consistently. A lot of loot boxes and gacha mechanics, games like Hellfire. Then I work on DC Legends, Power Rangers Legacy Wars. There's a new one coming out, which is Morphin Legends, that I designed. A couple other IP heavy games. A lot in the realm of card collector games and RPGs for mobile.
Cool. Well, welcome. And you also have a little bit of Web3 experience, right?
Yeah, a little bit. So before coming here, I was working in Set Run, which is a game by Virtual Human Studio. And Set Run is a race coursing NFT game. So I was working there as designer too, adding some new features, working on economy, and I think just yesterday they released one of my features, which is lending.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. So you bring a lot of experience.
Not too much, but a lot of experience in gaming. So
Yeah.
trying to learn a lot very quickly, so I can be, adding value for all of you guys.
Thanks, Finn. We know everybody might remember Volcron, but why don't you just do a quick little recap of who you are so people remember?
Yeah, thank you. I'm tech lead on Townstar Engineering for Townstar Forever, and I'm in the mix of what all we're building every day, the features, no bugs yet, but all the planning and data and everything. So anything you want to know tech related to Townstar Forever, just ping me on here, and I won't leak anything I'm not supposed to today. So do have some updates for y'all whenever that's scheduled for this talk. So yeah, just happy to be here listening in.
I've been affectionately calling Volcron the Tom Holland of Townstar. You guys know how Tom Holland jumped out and would, in his exuberance, share a lot about what's happening on Marvel movies. So, but I think also you guys are going to see when Volcron comes on and talks, he brings some pretty powerful magic stuff to share. So
I love that comparison, Mark. Love it.
He's just as happy and as fun as Tom is. Michelle, why don't we start down the agenda?
Yeah, let's start talking about what kind of stuff happened this week in the Townstar live game, and then we'll jump over and let Volcron talk about the new game that's coming out. So stuff that happened this week, it was a competition week. Everyone making their fabric boxes. hopefully everyone's been having a good time. We got the proximity effects pop up also went live in the game, which I know everybody loves a lot. That was definitely really nice to see. I'm sure everyone wanted it for a really long time, so it's really nice to see in the game. Will help a lot as new people come in too. That was really all that happened this week, though. Pretty good week. We got the new facility, the new boxes and stuff, which is cool.
I'm keeping an eye on here in the chat. If you guys have questions that pop up, go ahead and post them. We'll get to them in a little bit. But what's next? New game stuff? Is that time?
Yeah. Let's jump right into that.
All right. So Tom Holland Hour. It won't take an hour. Well, let's start really high level and just talk about some of the cool stuff that we're doing. Of course, there's the gameplay that everybody expects, right? You know, workers walking around doing their thing. We've got that in. We've got crop growth, which looks pretty sweet. We've got better camera controls. For anybody who wasn't listening last week, we have in Safari on an iPhone 11, we have it running 60 FPS, which was pretty nice to see. And then we've got some specifics about the game itself. Is there anything anybody who's in the discussion channel would like to know about the live versus the forever? Curious Peanut wants to play on his iPhone.
Actually, one quick question, one quick note before we get to those questions. You said we have it running on the iPhone. What is it? Is it the full game? Is it a prototype?
Yeah. So this is the game as it is exported from our code. This is the it's the full client. It's the HTML5 export that then talks, to our backend servers and everything. A little detail, I think people are probably wondering about what have we done to secure the data and, make it more cheat resistant and everything. The first step was we've made it server authoritative. So now when you want to place a building or you want to place wheat or, whatever, the server is going to confirm that first. So yeah, before you can do anything in the game, the server says that's whether or not it's possible. So that is a huge step towards security. I can't leak too much about what we're doing anti-cheat methods, but yeah. So do you think that answers what I meant by the client?
So, yeah, okay. I think so. It is the game that we have executed so far. It's not the full game. Everything's not full up and playing. We don't have the interface up, but we got some of the logic and the server connections and stuff showing up on the game board. Mm-hmm. And this is just checking this step is a normal part of development. Make sure that you check on your target platforms that the performance is okay, because you don't want to get to the end and find out you've got a big performance issue. It's one of those early checks that I like to do. So, but it's great. What else? Were we going to leak anything? I can't remember, guys. Help me out. Was that the plan? Let's see. Let me check back in our Slack, because I might be blowing something here.
I'm being cautious today.
You're being cautious. Okay. Atomic says she has her mic fixed, so yay. Now maybe we can invite you into it.
As soon as we mentioned leaks, mic fixed.
Should I? How funny is that? There we go. There's Atomic in there. While we sort out what our next step is going to be, Atomic, why don't you just give us a quick update?
On leaks?
No, on what you're doing.
Hi everybody. I'm Atomic. I joined the team, I think about 3 weeks ago, to run the Townstar socials, mainly Twitter.
Okay.
And leaks. I chase leaks.
And leaks. Chase leaks. Okay. So I think we should go ahead and release that video that you had there, Volcron. What do you say?
Sure.
Is that in there?
Yeah. I slip and fall and accidentally hit enter on this. It's a small one. sending it into Townstar discussion.
What is it? What is it? Is it there? Oh, it's there. There's a couple of eyeballs. 3 people have seen it. There's some
The drumming cat. Yeah, so this
pizza.
This is
Atomic, maybe you can put that video up there on Twitter, Twitter too, when you get a moment.
Yeah, so that's
let me throw it up there now.
our Godot port. We're doing all sorts of fun, crazy stuff on the towns right now, especially for the load balancing. Shouldn't say that. For the performance profiling, we're doing all sorts of stuff that was a little bit more difficult in live to do. If you can imagine a completely randomized town and other fun tools like that. So what you're seeing here is a little more planned out and orderly, but yeah, that's kind of a visual on where we are on the Godot port.
What do you guys think for the people who see it? This is about 10 seconds long. Any feedback for the team?
Definitely looking awesome. I'm super excited.
Looks smooth. It is smooth.
Did I mention the NFT guilds?
That's Rostakip. Rostakip.
All right, do we want to move into any questions?
Yeah, let's move on to some questions. We've got a couple of them this week.
Yeah, I do have some tech-specific questions if Volcron wants to take them while he's here.
Do it.
Yeah.
All right, question number 1. Is there more known that you can tell about the Godot timeline? When can we, on a player side, expect to see or notice anything? We're all really looking forward to getting rid of scripts, bugs, and running computers 24/7.
Yes. Oh. Yeah,
let me jump in and
have like a set timeline.
Yeah, let me jump in and talk about that timeline. We're still building it, obviously, and what the plan is, we'll show you guys progress as we go. And one of the things why I'm really careful about that timeline is because we have some really cool things, but they're still pretty big unknowns. And once we start coding them and getting to them, we'll be able to set that in stone. So yes, no specifics on the timelines yet, but Volcron and team are crushing it in terms of their progress. You can see in that video.
I can hint toward the second part of that question a bit. People saying tired of like scraping,
Absolutely.
trying to piecemeal together. Providing an API to this game is super important to us. And we've met with some people from the community who I won't name here because I haven't gotten, I don't think, explicit permission. So we want to make a nice, secure, awesome API for everybody. Of course, authenticated with throttling and all the stuff you would expect out of a normal API that'll let you get your town data, so we can support all these awesome community efforts. Got a little bit of the NFT guilds, saw a little bit more than I'd seen before yesterday, and I was just blown away at how awesome it is. And seeing that kind of passion in the community is so inspiring, and it really makes us, like, you think like maybe we're, I don't know, cave trolls and we're just sitting here cranking out code all day, but when we can see like that kind of stuff, that's just how much people really love the game. It really does inspire us, and we do talk about it a fair amount. So that's a bit on the API.
That's the big leak of the day.
Whoops.
Thanks, Tom. Actually, so just guys, it is sort of a running joke, but obviously we really want to be careful about what we share when stuff is real versus stuff's not real. But everything Volcron said is real. So anyways, I was hoping we'd be a little further along in the discussions before we shared those. But yeah, here's a cool leak. Let's see. Who's next? Next question.
Yep, this one I know we've answered before, but it does keep getting asked, so I'm just going to ask it again in case somebody who doesn't know the answer is listening. can you explain like I'm 5 the client server authorization thing that works better in Godot than in the current engine? Sorry, I was trying to read it word for word.
Oh, sure. Yeah, absolutely. So let's, instead of client, let's just say your PC. And instead of server, we'll say Gala's PC or Gala's machine, right? So client authoritative is you start the game and your machine tells Gala's machine, hey, I've got a wheat field at such and such coordinates. And then on our end, we say, okay, boss, and we write it down. And then, a few seconds later, the ledger of truth checks it and is like, actually, they didn't. This person's cheating. That's where we are now, where we're watching it after the fact. Like, what did this person do? Were they actually able to do it? Were they cheating? What could they have done? What can they do in the next few minutes? All that's live, right? And then when we say server authoritative, it's just a fancy way of saying, now what's going to happen is the client or your machine, you're going to say, hey, can I please place a farmhouse here? And the server will tell you yes or no and how much it cost you. Is that a Explain Like I'm 5 okay one?
Sounds like it to me.
Okay.
Who's going to volunteer to say that they can understand like they're 5?
It made sense to me. And I'm certainly not a game coder.
There you go. What else, Michelle? What other questions do we have?
Our next couple questions are design questions. The first one is, are you thinking of introducing an interactive AI?
I saw that question. I'm not quite sure. That's a pretty big general question. What is interactive AI? What is AI? I can tell you what we're musing about is, can we create some sort of AI, and put that in quotes, that helps kind of modulate market prices, helps kind of give a sense of the real world, maybe a sense of weather, kind of things that just kind of help make the game more fun and interesting over time. We're just musing with those. So in general, not some giant AI player or something like that, or a boss, but that's what we're thinking about in terms of AI. And I put quotes around AI because so many different definitions in people's minds of that.
Awesome, thanks. So the next question we've got about design is, can you talk about the different types of modes that Townstar will have, and what might they look like? Forever, social, competition, challenge, story mode, terrain builder / maker.
Yeah, those are a lot of modes. When I was looking at that, I'm like, man, that's a gigantic game. And actually, I think the way to think about it is more that, like when you say forever, yes, there'll be a mode where it'll be the game where you have a town that is persistent. There won't be a, quote, social mode to it, but there'll be social features in it. And if you want to know kind of just a preview, just go back and look at, some of the games that we did at Zynga in terms of social features, friends lists, and things like that. Then competition mode, yeah, that'll be a mode. I think it has to be separate, and we're kind of imagining it very much like the competition modes we have right now. Modify the course to the new gameplay that's coming in forever. And so I can't remember what the other modes were there. Story mode. Hey, story mode just feels like it's part of the forever mode to me, right? It's comes in terms of quests and getting to play through quests, meet characters, and do all sorts of fun stuff. And then the last mode that came up was terrain builder and maker. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. We haven't talked about that, but I know from experience of making RTS games, when you make a map builder, people use it, and it would be awesome to be able to get that UGC into Townstar Forever. But that's not currently on the to-do list, but maybe we can add that.
Awesome.
Do it. There's Willow. Do it. Okay, what's next, Michelle?
Next, we got a couple of economy questions. I'm not sure how much of it we can really answer, so I'm just going to group the both of them together into one question, and you can just say whatever we've got ready to say.
Absolutely.
So let me read through the both of them. They are, with the new NFTs being introduced that will never earn town coin, can you confirm that all NFTs that previously earned Town before the play to earn pause will continue to earn once it's restarted? And Gala has started creating NFTs without earning potential. Will there be NFTs created in the future that do have earning potential, or are the existing NFTs all that will ever be created with earning potential?
Got it. There's a lot of questions. There's a lot of impact in those two questions. I can share the following. So first step is expand. We're expanding thinking beyond current set of NFTs. Like you just get an NFT, you put it in a game, it earns, right? There'll be other types of NFTs to expand out the gameplay. You can call them non-earning. You might call some of them decorative. Just we're expanding the definition of that. So it's kind of hard to answer with one question for all of them. But what I can tell you is the top line, again, we've mentioned it before, is we're looking at all the NFTs currently in Townstar Live, evaluating them for their impact on gameplay, economy, and figuring out a plan for what we're going to do with them in Townstar Forever. We do know the current plan, and this may change, so I'll put this big caveat. This plan may change, but we're looking at allowing players to keep their Townstar Live NFTs as is, or also the option to import them into Townstar Forever, import in quotes, into Townstar Forever for additional features or for additional attributes. And again, these things are still very early in consideration, but we are thinking through what to do. And the way I see it is the current NFTs we have are an integral part of the game. We want to carry them forward. And so that's the plan. Hopefully that helps kind of give some clarity while we're figuring out the rest of the details.
Yeah, I'm sure as soon as we have some type of plan or big news, we will definitely share it here. So,
yeah, yes. And as I've said before in other discussions, we are continuing to have multiple discussions each week on NFTs, the game design, and now we're going to be with the addition of Musashi. We're going to be able to accelerate some of that work. I'm pretty excited about that.
we only have 2 more questions here. One of them is just kind of a general miscellaneous question. Anybody can probably answer it. And that is, when will Townstar get a new season update with redesigned art and graphics?
I seen something yesterday that was amazing. And I think we'd definitely be seeing a nice new theme in October, I feel confident saying that. So we'll definitely be seeing some nice scenery change anyway soon.
That's cool news.
Does that count as a leak?
I don't know. I think that's just more like a preview. What do you think, Mal? Is that a preview or a leak?
Yeah, it's like a preview.
All right. Now, before we jump into what we have left, why don't we just take a quick look at the community there? Willa Martin, I see the big giant fact button put there, and somebody was saying, can we make the annoying clouds disappear during the land rush? They get in the way and are pointless and annoying. I think we can update the clouds. I noticed that same kind of thing. It is a little bit frustrating. What other?
Yeah, I totally agree with those clouds. They definitely get in the way when you're trying to pick a spot during land rush.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could definitely vote to lower those clouds out.
Even if we could just see through them, would be nice.
Yeah. I have this rule of thumb that we came up with when making RTS games is that at the height of something exploding, you always had to see at least somewhere between 30 to 50% of the object. And it feels like clouds in its own way kind of violates that kind of rule here. I mean, they're nice and they're ambient and everything, but I always like to favor gameplay over art, or gameplay over, I don't know what you want to call it, effects and stuff. Who's got questions? Yes. Hopefully you will address my questions. Figured out how long waited for Boombot. McCarthy introduced your guys. Okay, Chief. There's no answer on that yet. And that's part of the thinking, bots and all the parts and pieces that were created like a year ago, I think. Those will be part of the new game. We just have to design them in a way that makes sense. Okay, who else has got questions?
Sand King, I think those rewards will be out relatively soon. I don't think that today is that day, but hopefully early next week we can get those rewards out for that Honeycomb Meta. We just got a little backed up.
Peanuts, I see there. It says maybe switch to a general fog that just covers the full map. I think you're kind of talking like RTS time, aren't you? Yeah, we won't do that. Yeah, I know. That's one of those classic gaffes that happens. Please don't. Please don't.
Speaking about events, I seen one about Halloween. I'm definitely excited for Halloween. No more leaks than that, though.
No more leaks about Halloween? I see Willow's hunting for leaks today.
This is it. You give them all of them too soon, and then you've got nothing left. So we're gonna slide those ones out a little bit slower. But I do have a leak towards the end, maybe for the next meta.
Well, that'll line up with my one last question that I have, but we'll save that for the very end. Does anyone else have any live questions here in the chat?
Somebody's asked the questions. What phones have been checked for the new Townstar so far? Volcron, you have some answers on that?
Sorry, I was reading the chat. What answers?
Which phones have been tested with the new Townstar?
Oh, right now we're focusing on iPhone because that was the one that had the most troubles. Up next is Android, some of the newer Androids. But we do want to support as far back as possible. For tech reasons, you guys might know the different WebGL limitations on different browsers. That's part of it. Limiting factors, and we will get a grid of supported browsers out at some point, mobile and otherwise.
Someone asked when they'll be able to run their town on their smart fridge. Is that in the pipeline, Volcron?
Oh, well, I mean, smart fridges, those never get security updates, so there's probably all sorts of things running on your smart fridge that you don't know about. As for town, no promises.
That's funny.
Is there any plans to step away from the land rush? Yeah, we know it's a problem. We know it's a problem for some people. I think it will be a different type of problem once we get away from all the scripts that everybody runs. So I think the general feeling is trying to make it as fair for as many people as possible. There is still a bit of competition in there. That can be fun, but when it goes too far and scripters show up, it's not that fun. So we'll work on that, definitely. Any plans to make NFT utility available to new players so they don't see the game as pay to win? Oddly enough, we were just talking about that in a chat. I can say there's thoughts and thinking around that, and we have some nebulous design ideas on how to do that. And but that's all I can say right now. When dragon snacking on sheep? Oh, I don't know. Michelle, what do you think about that?
There was some leak, I think, from Vox, like last year, of a video of a dragon eating a sheep. It wasn't really a Townstar leak. I'm not sure where it came from because I wasn't a part of the team at that point.
Yeah.
But as far as I know,
that.
there were no plans of having dragons eat sheep within Townstar.
Yeah, it makes a funny video, I believe. I remember that. I think I've still got the video, actually. I'll try and dig it out later. Probably won't leak it, but I think I might be able to dig it out.
I think, but this kind of does touch on some of the things we talked about this week, or I think it was last week, in terms of the what do we call it, the world, the feel of the game, the rules that we have for content. One of the things we're settling on is this might get a little bit intense. So the idea is that we're never going to be killing our cows for meat. It just feels a little bit kind of going in the wrong direction for us. Michelle, do you remember any other things that we kind of settled on?
Not really. I know that we definitely had decided on there won't be any butcher shops in the game that we'll have to actually butcher meat in.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll be able to import burgers or get some of those nice plant-based burgers that taste like cat food.
There you go. So one of the things, just in general, I'm trying to keep this, while it can be very intensive competitive-wise, kind of a family-friendly game, right? And even to the point of looking at green sustainability and those kind of things. So when I think about a dragon swooping in, setting fire to a town, eating sheep or something like that, that kind of feels a little bit out of bounds to our thinking right now. Hefe Sailor, nice cat burger, awesome. All right. Any other last minute questions we have? Or we're a little bit over time, but I don't want to cut people off. Family Man, you're popping out these questions. Aside from play to win perception, what other factors do you see as inhibiting mass adoption? Man, you must be a product maker. One of the so I kind of look at it as just intense competition with no tutorial and permadeath. If you recognize that for Townstar Live, that's what I think one of the things that inhibits mass adoption. I think cheaters kind of ruining the environment inhibits mass adoption. And so those two things are totally recommended. And I don't know, Mal, what do you think? You got other ideas that might inhibit mass adoption?
I do think getting it balanced so there's the part for the experienced players and the part for the more casual side, because there's definitely different mentalities, and pushing too hard on one can definitely push out the other side. So it's the same with like Land Rush. I think finding a stronger map layout is better than completely removing it. Trying to keep certain elements, but making sure you include everyone as possible. So like inclusion, social. Stuff like that's going to be the key to make sure that's in there in the future.
Okay, I agree. Let's move on. Any last things on our agenda, Michelle?
Sorry, I was answering a question in chat.
It's okay.
The only other question that I have, it was directly for Mal. And it was, what are we going to do after Saturday? We need something to practice, so we need leaks. And while you're at it, maybe some more leaks. Also, some leaks would be appreciated, and maybe pair that with some leaks.
I feel like Atomic asked that question.
What?
So we can definitely mention that there is a new building coming, and it's in line with our most recent meta. Naming wise, a little bit. It's the boxing facility. And this boxing facility is going to be what introduces the much higher tier or the different type of crafts than we've usually had. And it's going to be wooden boxes, and there's going to be parcels as well. So it's going to be a nice combination. There's definitely going to be some fun ones in there. I think it's one of those buildings that we can really have fun with in the terms of what goes in. And what I will say about the after fabric boxes, then you definitely want to have a good baguette build. Possibly with some beehives in there for whatever reason.
Baguettes and beehives?
Yeah, just baguettes and beehives, and there'll be something else, and there'll be a new building. So, but having a strong baguette build is definitely going to help you.
Oh man, I better get practicing. All right, I think that's all we had for questions. We can announce that we've got another sale coming up. I don't know if anyone specifically wants to talk about the new NFT that's going to be going on sale on Monday.
Let's do it. What do we got?
So, are you taking that, Top Boy?
No, I was going to let you do it. All yours.
So, we have a wonderful And I think it's very special. We have an ancient coming. So I'm just going to watch the chat now that I've said the word ancient. What do people think it is? Someone said it in chat, actually, yesterday. Someone hinted when Todd came in and slightly leaked. Ancient glassmaker. No, not an ancient glassmaker. Think of brightness. I'm sure people will realise soon. There we go. People are getting closer. So it would be the orb of light. And this is going to have a 3 tile radius. So a wide radius, and it will remove all shade in that radius. So that is with those red windmills and stuff like that. So it's not just crops. That's things like windmills and anything that's affected by shade. So I hope everyone's excited for that one.
Nice images there, guys. HB, not a bomb, but light. That Ross says that goes on sale next week.
Yeah, I believe it's on sale next week. Top Boy, is that right?
Yep. Next Monday.
Soros just answered, yeah. What time on Monday?
1 p.m. Pacific time.
Woohoo. All right. So I think we'll probably post the details, Farm Michelle, in the announcements channel. Is that right?
Yeah, I'll get it all posted up in a little bit here whenever we're done.
Okay. That's cool. There was one question. I'll just jump in before you take off, which is someone asked about Townstar Live, the current version of Townstar, and Townstar Forever being merged or kept separate. They are separate games on different engines, and as I kind of mentioned a little earlier in the talk, yes, you will be able to bring your NFTs over from Townstar Live into Townstar Forever. That's just an essential way. So yeah, they won't be merged unless you kind of talk about bringing your NFTs over. Just 2 separate code bases. Cool. Well, I think it's about time to wrap up. What do you guys think? Do we miss anything off our agenda? We good? Oh, nice, Den Daddy.
I think we covered everything.
Okay, awesome. Well, that's it for today, everybody. Thank you for coming. Awesome to see everybody in the stage. We got up to 172 people, and we're going to wrap it for today. We'll see you again next week. And make sure this, as we come up, as the week goes on, you send your questions to Farmer Michelle. She always puts out a survey. We want to make sure we keep communicating everything we can. And I'm sure we're going to have some new cool stuff for next week as well. So thanks, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Out, everyone.
Bye, everyone. Thanks for coming.
Bye.
I'm going to stay here and watch you guys again. There won't be any more leaks. It's okay to leave. The captain. Be sharp. Cheers. Stargazer.